Yesterday, the Deputy Finance Secretary of the United States of America visited Azerbaijan and discussed the UN resolution with the Azerbaijan leadership. What were the discussions? And let me note that today our guests are the U.S. Embassy to Azerbaijan Spokesman Kirsbein and political scientist Gabil Huseynli. Welcome to our studio. Thank you.
Well, the main topics that were addressed were the sanctions that have been levied against Iran and against Iran's, with the aim of reducing Iran's ability to exploit its natural resources of gas and petroleum. It's very well known that Iran, through its natural gas and oil resources, is financing its illicit nuclear program. So Undersecretary Levy came and spoke with a number of Azerbaijani officials, and the main themes were ways in which Azerbaijan can help protect itself and its financial system from some of the deceptive practices that Iran uses to violate the sanctions regime.
Which instances? What do you mean by meaning dangerous points, dangerous instances?
The manners. We're not talking about dangerous spaces. What we're talking about is the mechanisms, the methods by which Iran tries to evade the sanctions and trying to strengthen Azerbaijan's vigilance against these kinds of practices. Because Azerbaijan is on the border with Iran, and there are many Iranians active here, most of them legitimately. There's a lot of traffic a lot of commerce between Iran and Azerbaijan. And what Secretary Levy is trying to do is to focus the Azerbaijani government on some of the steps that they need to take on some of the methods by which they should increase their vigilance on transactions, so that they're not violating either United Nations or American sanctions or EU sanctions.
My next question is to Gabil Huseynli, political expert. It's for the first time in the country, in Azerbaijan, that the authorities clearly state that Azerbaijan held negotiations with the United States on Iran. How do you assess such kind of statements? It was a very crucial document because in recent years, Iran was continuing to violate last UN's resolutions using Azerbaijan and Armenia. There are some relations between Iran and Azerbaijan still remaining, especially Azerbaijan's continuing to send gasoline to Iran, and particularly after simplification of visa regime with Iran, the inflow to Azerbaijan strengthened. And there are intelligence officers among them, and most of them come to Azerbaijan on Iran regime's instruction, and they fulfill different tasks. And these tasks include the Iran's wishes, like financial tasks. From this point of view, this statement unambiguously states that Azerbaijan supports UN resolution. Azerbaijan must join the UN resolution against Iran and obey it. Otherwise, if Azerbaijan violates the statement, Azerbaijan itself may face threats. Recently, Iran Defense Secretary said in Azerbaijan that military trainings are planned. Also, Mr. Stewart also said that Azerbaijan's financial system must be protected from Iran's financial system. What are the threats of this system? Let's begin from the illegitimate financial operations. Iran wants to transfer its oil incomes to other countries, including Russia, and it's very simple. If it's not prevented, this financial traffic, will continue and will not be stopped. As to Iran Defense Secretary's proposal for joint military trainings, these are in vain. Azerbaijan has been in war state with Armenia for a long while, and Iran never proposed such military trainings with Azerbaijan, and of course all of a sudden such a statement surprised Azerbaijan. In the press conference of Mr. Levy, there was a question regarding the proposal to the Azerbaijan side of the list of the Iranian companies which are under sanction and under sanction. And he stated that there were discussions on it. And is there such a list? Indeed, is there such companies operating in Azerbaijan?
As far as I know, there were no specific lists of Iranian firms that were delivered. Of course, in the sanctions announcement, there was Nico, an arm of the Iranian state oil company is listed as a firm that should not be dealing with activities. Really, what's Undersecretary Levy came here is in a spirit of a strategic partnership with Azerbaijan, is to share information about techniques, about ways that which Azerbaijan can help protect itself from unwittingly becoming a violator of sanctions. Or not Azerbaijan, but Azerbaijani banks. And this way can build confidence in the Azerbaijani financial system and thereby attract further foreign investment.
Will there be further visits in this regard, and will the discussions continue? After this Azerbaijan visit, Mr. Levy visited Turkey, the Azerbaijan's closest partner.
Well, I think what we're going to do here at the embassy is we're going to continue with on the themes and follow up on the information that Secretary Levy imparted to the Azerbaijani institutions. So I don't know right now. There's no planned. No visitors are going to be coming to pursue this message directly, but we're going to follow up on the themes that Undersecretary Levy touched upon from the embassy.
And is there an activity violating the UN resolution number 1920? And can there be a body established for providing information about the implementation of the UN resolution by such countries like Turkey, Georgia, and Azerbaijan?
Security Council resolutions, in terms of whether a body will be established to follow the implementation of these sanctions, that's really a question for the United Nations, so I'm not really qualified to answer.
Thank you for coming to our studio today. Our guests were U.S. Embassy to Azerbaijan Spokesman Kispin and political expert Gabil Huseynli.